This video covers the exhaust modifications required to the PETROL Grenadier in order to fit the Highlander 77-litre auxiliary fuel tank. Start by removing the rear bash plate. Then cut the exhaust as close to the rear muffler as possible. Remove the muffler and clean up the end of the exhaust pipe. The heat shield above the rear muffler needs to be removed, and a portion of it will be reused later. This is the 76mm stainless steel silencer, which is fitted to the exhaust when we do the modification to fit a auxiliary fuel tank to the PETROL Grenadier. First thing, just check the length of the silencer itself. This one measures in at 395 millimeters. We're now going to move to the exhaust itself. Okay, moving to the underside of the Grenadier. Please ignore this flange over here. This exhaust is on a diesel vehicle. It's already been modified for the tank. So on the petrol vehicle, there's simply a welded joint over here. What we do is we now measure out the length of where the exhaust is going to be, or the silencer is going to be. So we have to shorten the exhaust system by 15 to 20 millimeters. So we add another 15 millimeters onto the length of that exhaust, which gives us a number of 410 millimeters on the straight piece from there to there. Then you mark out where the cut line is, so the exhaust has to stick into the silencer by 20 millimeters on each side. So what we do is, once we've got the position where the weld is going to be over there and over there, we measure back 20 millimeters on that side and 20 millimeters on that side, and that is where you cut the exhaust off. Your silencer box will then slide over that side and be welded on here, and you will have to then reattach a modified bracket in the center to support the exhaust where this bracket comes off. The last thing is, when welding the back end of the exhaust over here, please remember that the rear part of the exhaust has to be rotated a few degrees clockwise in order to make sure that this section over here is absolutely horizontal. Otherwise it won't fit into the recess of the fuel tank. The blue line indicates the portion of the exhaust that must be horizontal or slightly elevated on the left to ensure that the tank will fit. The tailpiece can now be welded on with a custom-made hanger bracket. It's advisable to tack weld all the parts of the exhaust together and do a mock fitment of the tank before doing final welding.